talk about Spurs because they've done it again. They've Spursed it up. They lost to Southampton on Saturday, and Mauricio Pochettino, well, he was a bit truthful about his squad, wasn't he, after that game, saying, they're probably just not good enough, to try and go for the title, which, we like his honesty, but we already knew that. But Connor, Spurs have Spursed it up again. I just love saying it. But they just can't get anything right when it matters. Like, they lost to, did they lose to Burnley last week as well? Yeah. And it's just like, for Spurs, if they want to compete at the top against Man City and Liverpool, they've got to do a lot better, haven't they?
Yeah, Pochettino said after the game that it was arrogant and complacency in the second half by Tottenham because they did go 1-0 up against Southampton, but ended up losing that one 2-1. Lost 3 in the last 4 and haven't won a game in the league since Feb 10th, which was a 3-1 win against Leicester. So it's been over a month now since they've won a game in the league.
Oh, that's so funny. But yet they go and beat Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
It's just so...
Yeah,
okay.
1-1 draw against Arsenal, 2-0 loss against Chelsea, and then that 2-1 defeat against Burnley that you were saying. So it'd be interesting to see now whether or not they can carry on this season and still keep their place in the top 4, especially with how Arsenal are playing. Recent win against Manchester United by 2-0. A good result for them. And Manchester United as well, only just suffering their first loss under Ollie in the Premier League last weekend.
Yeah, and, he wasn't at the wheel yesterday.
Yeah, and we can't forget about Chelsea either. I know they only drew 1-1 at the weekend against Wolves, but
I still feel like Chelsea might do it.
They seem to have bounced back really in the league a little bit, and overall
he's not confident. But
overall in all comps really since the 6-0 thrashing from Manchester City. I know they lost to United in the cup, in the FA Cup, but they've got strong performances still going in the Europa League against Ukraine's finest Timo Kiev, and they seem to be managed to get themselves back into the game yesterday against Wolves, who you can't take off lightly either because they've been playing really well this season. So Spurs still have a lot to do, but we also still have to give them a lot of credit as well. How many points are they behind Liverpool in the league at the moment? Ooh. Is it something like 9 at the moment, or is it?
I think it might be 9 after Liverpool won. It wasn't exactly a big gap until.
Yeah, but you think about it, Pochettino hasn't bought anyone in the last 2 transfer windows. It's the first time in Premier League history that's ever happened, and they're third in the Premier League. Just goes to show, that they've got strength and quality in the squad. But I think as well as what Poch said after the game too is that they're still missing that another bright spark, another good player in the team in order to push for a stronger, have a stronger title push over the season. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer, really. I think this is a big summer for Tottenham. Moving into the new stadium. A lot's happened for Tottenham this season.
You say a new stadium, we don't know if it'll ever be finished, but yeah.
Well, they're moving in April.
So. Well, they say that. They said that last time. I mean, they actually Spursed it up again, Jack, because they didn't actually make enough space.
This is the storyline he wants to go down. Yeah, they Spursed it up.
They didn't make enough space for their corners, apparently. So they've had to do that again for the new stadium. So you must be loving it, Jack, because even though Chelsea are playing pretty terrible at the moment, you must feel as though, do you think Tottenham might miss out on the top 4 along with Chelsea?
Well, it's definitely a lighter side. Yes, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, it's definitely a lighter side knowing that because we're doing so bad, Tottenham are doing pretty poor as well, but they are a few points ahead of us, so can't say too much. The fact that we only just scraped a draw against Wolves last minute, thanks to Eden Hazard, just shows how poor we were. Did anybody watch the game yesterday?
Oh, Wolves were hard
I
done
almost
by.
fell asleep. Yeah, that's how bad we were. Somebody,
my mate is a Wolves fan. He went to the game yesterday.
I'm very sorry.
And he was absolutely gutted.
He should have his money back. It was terrible. I mean, the first half was just pass, but half time. There was nothing going on. We looked woeful. I mean, and I think it says a lot now that's so far into the career at Chelsea for Sarri that he's now actually putting on the youngsters, because I think he knows how worried he is. Simply that he would have literally just swapped Barkley for Kovacic if 5 games ago. But now he's seeing that the performances we're doing, he's having to put Loftus-Cheek on, he's having to put Hudson-Odoi on, because he knows that he's under pressure. And to not beat Wolves at home, credit to Wolves, they did a fantastic job, and that goal was really good on the counter-attack. Raul Jimenez, I know Connor's gutted because he was on the bench in his fantasy team.
Set him up as well.
Oh, there you go.
He was also on my bench.
He's even more disappointed, but credit to Wolves, and I think I was a little bit gutted for them that they didn't get the victory. But it was 1 point, I guess. Eden Hazard sort of saved us.
Andy, sticking with the race for top four, the win for Arsenal last night against Man United is a huge win for them because they are now above Manchester United, and they are definitely hot contenders to get Champions League for next season.
Yeah, it's kind of the ongoing narrative of the Premier League this season. For that top four spot, it's changing every single week, really. And now all of a sudden you look at it and thinking Arsenal could get that top four. All of a sudden, whereas beforehand you're thinking out of all of them, Arsenal are the ones. It's like there's obviously City and Liverpool, then Spurs, and then you're thinking probably Man United, maybe Chelsea, not Arsenal, never Arsenal. But all of a sudden a few results on the bounce, big result on Sunday, and now it looks a lot better for Arsenal. And it was, I think it shows that they actually, if you go at teams, try and play some positive football, starting with your two best players, your two star strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang, start them together, bring in Ozil, who's taking home, 350 grand a week or something stupid. And bringing in Ramsey to start again. It was kind of one of those where it was a really good result. It turns the season round pretty much for Arsenal. But then afterwards, you're also looking at it thinking, why haven't you done this before? Why have you not? It's almost like I don't know. It's almost like they're restricting themselves all season.
Because Emery didn't do that lineup when they played United in the FA Cup match back in January, and I did think, if you actually put on your best players, that might give you a better chance. And,
I do feel a little bit like he's still obviously trying to find his feet with the squad that he's got. I think he's a very good manager, but it's one of those where he's not trusted. Well, he clearly doesn't trust Mesut Ozil, it's an embarrassment, that player. It baffles me the fact that essentially by giving Mesut Ozil that contract, you've cost yourself Alexis Sanchez. You've now cost yourself Aaron Ramsey. But you're stuck with a player that can he be bothered turning up whenever he plays? Maybe, maybe not. Are you actually going to play him? Probably not. And who's going to take him off your hands for those sort of wages? They've got a right on mess with that. But no, great result for Arsenal.
Yeah, fantastic. And it wasn't for United fan, but fantastic result. And actually, funny enough, Conor, they've got to be careful because Europa League could be a way of getting into the Champions League by winning, but they're losing 3-1 against Rennes and when it comes to that second leg.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. I'm sure they'll find a way to at least get back into the game, but whether or not they're able to muster up a result to get into the next round of the Europa League, we'll have to wait and see. Just talking about those differences between the FA Cup game and the game that took place at the weekend against United, Arsenal played with three at the back and had a wing-back formation and just essentially crowded out Manchester United's attack and forced them to take a lot of shots really on the turn, on the bounce, and almost immediately. And you saw that throughout the game, and it really gave chance for Leno to shine. And I think he had a really good game in that one.
I thought he did brilliantly.
Yeah. So just forcing United to take shots quickly and not really think about it too much. And thankfully, the wind came into play for Granit Xhaka, and he managed to blast one in. But De Gea should have done better in that situation as well.
They're still in Paris.
And then the Aubameyang penalty from the foul from Fred in the end. So,
was it a penalty?
No.
I'm kind of torn, but yeah.
Okay, because I just feel like John Moss should never ref again. But he looks unfit anyway. He looks quite fat. But yeah, that's just my thoughts of him. But anyway, I was just thinking as well with that result. Lukaku, I know he didn't score, and they kept talking about it during the game that he doesn't score against top six, but he looked different in this match. Okay, he didn't score, but he got the opportunities given to him. I know he didn't score, but in the last 2 weeks, there's a new version of him. It looks as though.
Yeah, it wasn't like United played really bad against Arsenal. I mean,
if that was the Mourinho game, United would have played worse than that.
Yeah, United played far worse this season in a lot of games and have managed to come out of them with a win. So it's nothing for Ollie to be ashamed about in terms of how he settled the team. It's just on the day, Unai Emery, the experienced manager that he is, several Europa League titles with Seville. I can't remember how many it is off the top of my head. So
I think.
I'll just give the several title. And experienced manager, who's been to PSG as well. Although he didn't have the success, he did still.
You can't get success at PSG for $1 billion. You still lose to a youth team. It was brilliant.
Okay, All
Wednesday
right.
night was beautiful.
Yep. But yeah, Unai Emery's still a very experienced manager. In the
Neymar
end,
was
so.
in Lukaku's shadow. It was just beautiful.
Are you done?
Yeah. Go on.
You kind of ruined my point now. So I'm
Sorry,
done
go
as
on,
well.
go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay.
No, I thought that it was the Arsenal game. It just seemed like it was one game too many for a lot of those players. As in, obviously Arsenal had an extra day rest, but it was just the emotion of the night in Paris. I think, though, and with Solskjaer coming in, the style of play he plays, it's very high intensity, and I think a lot of those players looked knackered. And
Especially Rashford, I thought.
Yeah, I was impressed with Lukaku. I thought he looked lively. He was putting himself about. It's just some of his bullish play where he just dominates defenders. There was one shot where he just burst past two players, palms them both out the way. It's just when he's on it, he is near enough untouchable. Just 'cause he's got everything. Obviously, didn't score yesterday though. But yeah, he looked good. Rashford looked knackered. A lot of them. Pogba looked a bit tired. Lindelof, I'm a big fan of Lindelof, but he wasn't
Bit
at the
off it
races.
yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of those players look tired. But there isn't the availability to really rest that many of them at the moment.